Well.
Hello.
What's going on?
What's good?
What's been happening? I haven't seen you
Nothing.
in 10 decades.
Yeah, I've been rotting and not much else.
You almost died.
Almost. Yeah.
But now you're okay.
Can't keep a bitch down for long. Just 2 weeks, max.
It's like the hoe never gets cold.
Exactly.
But it's the same thing.
Bitch never dies.
Oh, I almost died because if you're down, what am I meant to do?
Yeah, but look how refreshed and rejuvenated we are.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's not true. But it's been a hot minute since I've done nothing for a long time.
I never want to leave my house.
Home detention. You'd suit home detention.
Yeah. Solitary confinement. Oh, sign me up. Love the sound of that.
You get arrested, they're like, you're going to prison. You'd be like,
finally.
what's the bad part about it?
Some reprieve from these treacherous journeys.
And you'd rock a matching jumpsuit.
Thank you. For everyone playing at home, look how put together and refreshed and inmatey I look.
You look like you have money. Fresh nails, might I add.
Yeah.
Which gorge.
Slay. Basic but a slay.
No, but basic's good.
Matching socks to jazz it up. Sorry to the YouTube people.
Matching
Dogs are not out.
sweatsuit.
Yep.
Hair's looking gorge.
Slick back. Slick
Eyebrows
Rick.
gorge. Skin
Slick
gorge. You'd run a prison.
I would, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have to be scared of no bitch because I would be the bitch.
Yeah. Because everyone would be
Top
like, look
dog.
how put together she is.
They'd be like, nah, she's a leader.
No
and
one
I'll be
else-
like, yeah, actually I am.
No one else has solitary confinement experience like Danica.
Exactly. Like, they put people in solitary confinement to knock them down. It would bring me up.
Maybe instead, if you committed a crime, they'd be like, your punishment, 24 hours a day of socializing.
Yeah, be around people constantly.
Yeah.
Now that is my
That'll
own personal
fucking
hell.
rock a bit.
That'll do it. That'll fucking do it.
Oh. So yeah, that means we've got no life updates.
Yeah, and you know what? Nothing has happened in the news this week.
Nothing.
Nothing.
The world said Danica's not ready. She's down. We have to just be put on pause for a minute.
That's a funky little bracelet you've got dingle dangling
Do you want
everywhere.
to know where I got it from?
Is this the one is this Nana?
No.
Oh.
No.
Because remember how you showed me jewelry, or maybe it was in the group chat, and Jackie was like, pick one out and you can have Nana's ashes put in.
Oh yeah, no.
That didn't happen. You vetoed that idea.
I didn't like any of them. I was
Yeah,
like,
fair.
I don't need to be wearing
They don't make
someone's
them cute though,
ashes.
do they?
No.
There's a niche in the market.
I don't need to be wearing someone's... I'd wear Benji's ashes.
Would you?
Yeah. I'd want his ashes, like, inserted into my skin.
Like a tattoo?
Somehow.
I'm sure you could get a tattoo with ashes done.
Yeah. I'd want him in my body.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd do with yours.
He'd like that.
I don't know what I'd do with yours. But I shotgun yours.
Yeah. What are you going to do with it? You just said you don't know. Well, think it through.
I need to do something.
Don't you know you've got 30 minutes?
After the last 2 weeks, I should have a plan.
You should.
No,
The fuck have you been doing at home?
Yeah.
While you're staring at the ceiling.
I've had so much time to myself that I'm not used to. And there's periods where I was just like this.
Yeah.
Just like waiting for the minutes to pass by until I could be reunited with you.
We're not codependent at all.
I didn't think that we were. And then you went down and I went.
One of us goes down and it's like, this is shit.
I was like,
Who am I?
I can't even leave my house by myself.
Nah.
Like
Nah.
the fuck? You want me to navigate the streets by myself? No.
Right?
No.
Nah.
This bracelet, you wouldn't guess it. I got it from the aquarium in Melbourne.
I thought that little charm was either like a cute little clutch or a shell.
No, it's like a little, and it's got like a little pearl in it.
Oh.
And it's all divvied up. It's all divvied up. And the reason I liked it is because, like, I love a silver pearl moment, right? And they're obviously fake, but it's got like the pearls on it. And I was like, that matches my jewelry and my aesthetic.
Yeah, it does. Very girly.
Yeah. I got it from a fucking aquarium for $20. But It's cute.
I love how you're like, it matches my aesthetic, and you're sat in a Scottie Pippen shirt and fucking.
No, my jewelry aesthetic.
Okay, yeah, that hand. If you just
See, it goes with this ring. With
if
the,
you
like,
veto
little
everything
moon
else,
in it.
that's a slay.
That
Yeah,
my earrings that I always wear.
yeah,
with the-
yeah, true, slay
And then this hand has just one rogue gold ring on it.
for punching.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is my angry, scary
Yeah.
arm because it's got like the big.
Yeah,
Scary
and
tattoos.
that's like your girly, soft,
Yeah, this is
dainty
like, la, la,
princess
la,
side.
la, la,
Yeah.
And this was like.
Arr, mateys, scurvy, shiver me timbers. I'd make a great pirate as well.
Yeah, you would.
Oh God.
Fuck. All right. Well, let's jump right into it because there's so much to talk about because I obviously had so much fucking free time.
Coco, you
That I've
stinky
watched.
girl.
I don't want to smell that. I'll
Yeah,
vomit.
it's
I'm gonna do this.
Girl. She's
I
like,
watched.
Yeah.
I watched so much stuff this week, but I'm going to narrow it down to the important parts. And so let's start with the Gabby Petito documentary that's dropped on Netflix.
Did you know that Coco's government name is Gabby?
What?
Yeah. Scabby Gabby.
Why is she called Coco then?
Because I hated the name Gabby. Does she look like a Gabby to you?
No.
Exactly. She needed a rebrand.
I thought she came as Coco.
No, she came as Gabby.
So when you take
funny. When she's an arsehole, that's Gabby.
So when you take her to the vet, does her birth certificate and stuff still say, like, do all her documents say Gabby?
Her adoption papers say Gabby,
Mm-hmm.
but at the vet she's Coco because that was post rebrand.
Yeah, okay. If you could change her name,
Gabby.
if you could change
Fish.
her name,
Easy.
Fish is a sick name.
Yeah, isn't it?
That's a sick
Fish.
name.
And it suits her because look at her.
Yeah,
Fish.
that's a fucking sick name.
Actual fish.
If I was going to rename Benji, I would have named him Bingo.
Bingo. He is a bingo. Bingo
Yeah.
and fish. Are you fucking kidding?
Right?
Oh,
I
we
know.
fucked up.
But I was like, when I got him, because I didn't name him, I was like, I feel bad. Like, the dude's been through enough. The last thing he needs is to learn a new name.
Fair. Like when I got Coco, I couldn't think of any female names to save my life. And so Tommy came up with Coco.
Yeah, okay.
But
Fish is sick.
yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
Now we have to get second pets.
I know.
Because we've got good names.
Naming potential.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry,
Gabby
anyway.
Petito.
So on Monday, the
I have
highly
snacks in here. I'm gonna just don't make
say the highly anticipated
Do you
documentary.
like a peach? A sour peach ring?
Yeah, I don't think they'll like it. American Murder, Gabby Petito dropped on Netflix. Now, for those who don't know, back in 2021, there was this. I'm going to call her an influencer, but realistically, she was trying to become an influencer.
Like a travel vlogger.
Yeah, but she only just started. And if for all the people that hate hearing us eat, I don't give a fuck. This is your worst nightmare right now. And she went missing. So her and her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, they embarked
Is that
on
really his last name?
Laundrie.
Laundrie. Wow.
It's not even spelt right. I'm gonna choke.
Steve it down.
They bought a van and they embarked on a road trip across America in 2021, right? And then she went missing. And then I remember vividly it being all over TikTok.
This case consumed me when it came
Yeah.
out.
This is probably the first big real-time crime that I was like following
Yeah.
obsessively, and I was looking at all the theories. The other one is that house of college students
Yeah,
that
I
got
was
murdered.
just going to say, yeah, they got murdered.
They're
yeah.
like the two that stand out to me.
What happened to them?
I think the court case is going on at the moment. Anyway, so yeah, I remember this going on vividly, and anyway, she was later found dead, and then
Where was she found?
okay, let me go.
It was in a wildlife place, wasn't it? Or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
so-
conservation.
So they were traveling through all the national parks, right? So they had. Let me go through the timeline. Okay, so they got into a relationship. really, really early on, they moved to Florida and they were living with Brian's family, right?
Mm-hmm.
All was like happy days. And then very quickly, like Brian's mum kind of flipped on Gabby and was starting to like treat her like shit.
Rude.
Was really cold to her, really nasty to her. And like Gabby was telling her mum about it kind of thing. And it was just like this weird dynamic. And then Gabby didn't have any friends living in Florida. She only had like old mate. And
Brian.
so she met this girl named Rose on Bumble Friend. And they got along really well. They started hanging out all the time. And then Gabby eventually got a job at like a fast food restaurant and she was making money for herself. And she loved it. She was like thriving. She was like, I love my life kind of thing. And Brian would be really, really weird. Like he would start arguments with Gabby when she was spending time with her friend. He would like start arguments with her when she was at work, being like, I don't want you to work. It was like really fucking like controlling and weird. Right? And her friend Rose, the one that she met through Bumble, she's interviewed in this documentary. She was like, I could like, there was moments where I was like, Brian, I'm not getting good vibes from him kind of thing. But when Brian and Gabby were together, and if like Rose was there, for example, it was like totally fine. It was only ever if like Gabby was living her own life and Brian wasn't involved. So they bought a van. And then they began a trip through all the national parks in like 2021. So then that was in June. On August 12, they were in Utah in like a place called Moab. And someone had seen them having an argument in like the little town. And so they called local police and reported like a domestic dispute. And the police found them and like pulled them over. And that's the body cam footage that went viral and was like released when she was missing, where she's like really upset kind of thing. And they're both being interviewed, whatever. Anyway, so she's like really, really, really upset. He's kind of like, she's crazy. She's like hitting me. And there's like physical evidence of her being like having been harmed by him, like scratches and stuff. But she was taking blame for it. And she's so small and so petite. And the police determined that she was the aggressor and that it was her fault.
In what fucking world?
And so they were like, you guys need to spend the night away from one another. Brian, we're going to organize for you to stay at like a domestic violence victims motel kind of vibe. And we're going to put you up in there. Gabby, you need to go sleep in the van by yourself. Right? Is that not really fucking weird?
Yeah.
Really weird. And then, like, and I get that she was taking the blame, but, like, if you had common sense, like, it was...
It's a woman.
And she was, like, just... You've got to watch the footage to understand, right? And then on the 19th of August, Petito, like Gabby, she posted her first YouTube video, which was, like, several days worth of footage, because her whole thing was she wanted to become, like, a like a van life influencer kind of thing. And so she'd been filming and documenting their whole trip. Anyway, then on the 27th of August, so, like, what, 8 or 9 days later, she went missing. So she'd been in regular contact with her parents. So her parents are separated. They're both in new marriages. So technically she has like 4 parents, right?
Love.
They all like, yeah, they're
More
all,
the merrier.
they're all amicable. It's fine. Anyway, so it's very cute. So they were going into, where was it? It was like somewhere near Wyoming, right? I can't remember the name of the national park. Anyway, they were going into there and she'd text her mum like that day her and Brian were seen arriving at Jackson Hole and they had lunch at a local restaurant. They went to a Whole Foods, like they were seen out and about. Witnesses did claim that they were having an argument in the restaurant, right? Anyway, so she texted her mum that night and she'd said something where her mum was like, oh, are you and Brian breaking up? And Gabby was like, no, like whatever. So then her mum just doesn't hear from her again. And she's like sending her a couple of text messages, not hearing back. And her mum's like, oh, they might be out of service. They might be hiking. Like, who knows? Anyway, I think it's like 10 days later. the mum's like,
Something's up.
something's up. She's called like Gabby's dad. He hasn't heard from her. She's tried to call Brian's parents. They're kind of not really helpful at all. She just can't get a hold of her. So she's like posting stuff on Facebook being like, I don't know where Gabby is. And she calls the police. And this was really weird. So she'd called the police station like near where Gabby and Brian were last known to be. And they were like, oh no, you need to report a missing persons with the police where she lives. So
Wouldn't
like, even though
where
she's...
you think that she was last seen?
It was, anyway, really weird. So she files like a missing persons complaint. And then the police in Florida, they're like working with the police who were like based in Wyoming or where they were last meant to be. And the documentary includes body cam footage of when the police go to the Laundrie's house for the first time, which this was the moment I knew that this was a fantastic documentary. So the body cam footage shows like obviously the police going up the driveway. The van is in the driveway, right? And they go up to the door, and the front of the Laundrie's house, like you go in, it's like a sunroom first, and then it's the front door. So there's a bit of distance between like where the police are, because I think they can't enter necessarily, and then where Laundrie's like Brian's parents are. And his parents are really defensive. They're like, don't know shit, don't know anything, see you later, like we're not commenting. And so the police are just kind of like, well,
what can we do?
There's nothing.
What can I do?
Our hands are tied.
Yeah.
So they go back to the car and they call the police, like the other police station. And the other police station's like, is it not fucking weird that they won't talk? The van is in the driveway and she's missing. Like, how are you not alarmed right now? Like, this is not adding up. And the police officer's like, yeah, it's like suspicious, but there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I'm sure it's fine, kind of thing. And so the good police were like, you need to find out something. Like, this is not over, kind of thing. Like, this is really fucking weird. Anyway, so he's like, whatever, I'll go and try and speak to them one more time. So he goes to try and speak to them, and they were like, we're not speaking to you. Brian's not going to come speak to you. We have nothing to say. Here's our lawyer's thing. If you have questions, you need to speak to our lawyer. Weird, right? Weird when the police are just coming around being like, hey,
what do you know?
What do you know? Like, do you know where she is? And the police officer at this time was like, can you not just tell us, say anything? Because like, you should understand that her parents are obviously going to be concerned. And they're like, speak to our lawyer. We don't want to know about it, kind of thing. And he's like, but why is the van in the driveway and where is she? And he'd done like a check, and the van was under Gabby's name. Gabby owned the van. It was not a co-ownership. Brian didn't own it. So he was like, well, Gabby's the owner of the van, so I'm getting the van towed. You don't own it. Like, see you later, we're taking it. Anyway, so they got it towed and took it away, whatever. Anyway, so that's when like the search really began. So that was on like September 11. What was discovered later, which was talked about in the documentary, was between August 27, when Gabby went missing, and September 11, there was evidence that Brian had been texting between his phone and Gabby's phone as if she was still alive.
Sneaky.
Right? He'd messaged Gabby's mum saying something like, hey, can you check on Stan and get him to stop messaging me? Something like that, right? Stan's Gabby's grandfather. And that was like a red flag for Gabby's mum, because she's like, why would she call him Stan?
First name, yeah.
It's her grandfather. She's
Paw.
She's never called him Stan.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then there was more evidence where Brian had transferred a significant amount of money from Gabby's bank account to his bank account.
What a fucking idiot.
So there's all this stuff, and like he would go and get fuel, because he obviously, like, after whatever happened, he drove back to Florida. He would like pay for things on Gabby's card because he was trying to cover his steps, and he was trying to make it look like she was still kicking, right? And then there was other evidence that the day that they believed that she was murdered, as soon as it happened, he'd called his parents, and then there was logs to show that after that phone call, the parents immediately called the lawyer, and then there was like all this back and forth. Like it was very, very obvious that something sus had happened, right? Anyway, moving forward to September 19. Also, everything always happens around my birthday because, I'll never forget this. The paranormal series was like, you know how at the start of the movie it's like has a date for when everything starts happening? The date's September 18th.
You mean Paranormal Activity?
Why, what did I say?
Just paranormal.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity.
I'm like...
all paranormal stuff.
September.
It's a very spooky time of year.
Spoopy.
So on September 19, that's when Gabby Petito's body was found, and an autopsy that was done at a later date showed that her death was caused by a combination of blunt force trauma and strangulation, right? So then, and that scene was really sad when they talk about how she was found, the condition she was in, that whole kind of thing, right? So then things start to escalate. The police are really trying to figure out what the fuck's happened. They're kind of looking towards Brian on all of this. So what does Brian do? Brian goes, I'm going to go for a hike, right? So on September 14, he goes missing. His parents report him missing because he'd gone to go hiking somewhere and didn't come back.
Like, are we not watching the house for movement, or, you know, he's a prime suspect?
Yeah.
Aren't we not doing like a stakeout or something, or being like, you can't leave your house until we, like, I don't know, or just eyes on the suspect?
Yeah.
I don't know. He kind of seems like he'd be a flight risk if he's getting lawyers involved from day dot.
There was too much. Yeah, I don't get it. The police were too relaxed about the whole thing.
Yeah.
They did not take this seriously whatsoever. So he is reported missing. And so he'd gone hiking through somewhere, I don't even know how to fucking pronounce it, this environmental park. And they were searching for him for something like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to everyone that I just burped in your ears. They were searching for him for something like 30 something days. They could not find him for 30 days, like 30 odd days. And then there'd been like all this rain, so it was really hard to do the search, apparently. And then as soon as the park was reopened to the public after all the weather events had finished, his parents were like, we're going to go join the search. Okay? So his parents go out there. Keep in mind, like, professionals have been looking for him for 30 something days. The first day that his parents go out there, they find him.
Suspicious.
They first find he had like this waterproof bag with stuff in it. And then within 45 minutes after finding that, his parents found him. Okay? Is that not...
That's weird.
So they found... Anyway, he had supposedly killed himself by shooting himself in the head with a handgun. And when they found him, his body was so decomposed that it was essentially just a skeleton. And the only way that he could be identified was through dental records, which I have heard the dentist or whoever that did the dental match was like a family member or family friend who's like a dentist of the Laundries. Okay. Is this not fucking weird? I don't think a body decomposes that quickly.
Because how long was the park shut for?
I don't know exactly. I would say like 70%. No. Yeah, a couple of weeks, I reckon.
There's no way a body would decompose that quickly in the...
I can't Google it because then I'm going to be fucking investigated by the police. So...
ASIO will be on you.
Yeah, imagine I Googled it and within 20 minutes ASIO storms in here and I just get snatched.
No, I'll do it because I don't mind going to jail.
Okay, good. So, meanwhile, police were searching the Laundrie's house because they're trying to find clues or evidence that might help them find Brian. And they found this letter that Brian's mum had written to him, right? And the top of the letter said, burn after reading. Okay? And this is what the letter said. It said, I just want you to remember I will always love you, and I know you will always love me. You are my boy. Nothing can make me stop loving you. Nothing will or could ever divide us. No matter what we do or where we go or what we say, we will always love each other. If you're in jail, I will bake a cake with a file in it. If you need to dispose of a body, I will show up with a shovel and garbage bags. If you fly to the moon, I'll be watching the skies for your re-entry. If you say you hate my guts, I'll get new guts.
Just say you want to marry your son, you fucking freak.
So they found that, and they were trying to allege that, like, his family, that letter was written way before, like, they even went away. Like, him and Gabby had gone away with the van. I don't think that's real. I think that this was something that she'd written to him, because I think that the parents were somehow, like, involved in covering it up.
Yeah. Apparently a body can decompose to skeleton remains within 2 weeks.
Nah, I don't believe it.
That doesn't.
I don't believe it.
Like, there's no... Like, surely something can't decompose. Oh.
Gabby was fine.
You think about all the bugs and shit, though.
Yeah, but Gabby wasn't decomposed like that. So, I think...
I think water makes bodies, like, decompose less quickly, though.
Oh,
like
well, then he should have been preserved because of all the rain. So, there's a conspiracy theory going around on TikTok that people believe that Brian murdered Gabby. That's true. Brian murdered Gabby. There's no question about that. He'd called his parents and was like, I've killed Gabby. What do I do? I need help. So, the parents have lawyered up, and they have helped him come up with a plan on, like, texting the phones and everything to make it look like it's not a thing. He's come home and they're trying to cover it up. And because the police found the body of Gabby, the Laundrie's freaked out or whatever. And so they were like, well, they're going to point the finger at Brian. Let's fake his death. And they faked his death because it just seems too sus that he was missing for 30-something days with, like, the best of the best looking for him. And yet the second his parents go out there, they find him within, like, the first couple of hours. And his entire body's down to a skeleton.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Anyway, so this documentary...
He better not be living. Like, imagine he's just living La Vida Loca. Like, everyone thinks he's dead. No one's looking for him.
Right.
That makes me mad.
I really feel like the parents were at least involved in covering it up. But they, like, nothing...
Did they get charged or anything?
No. So, Gabby's parents filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the Laundries and it was settled out of court. That's the only thing.
Damn.
Yeah. Nuts.
That's so infuriating.
This documentary, though, just because of the sheer amount of, like, that body cam footage of the police and, like, what you hear with the phone calls... I've never seen that much insight from the police's perspective, particularly when it doesn't make them look great.
Normally they don't get involved, hey?
Yeah. This was fascinating. Like, this is a documentary about a case that I knew about.
Girl. She's like, that's what I meant to do.
About a case that I knew about where I walked away having seen so much more, learnt more. Like, usually you don't, kind of thing.
Because it's a cold case, yeah.
Yeah, but this, wow. Yeah. Very interesting. I highly recommend. It's only like 3 episodes or something.
Yeah.
I really recommend.
Poor Gabby.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no justice for the family either.
It's just
That's
like...
so fucking shit.
It's actually embarrassing for the police on how they just did not take...
Taylor's old as time, though. You know what I mean?
No, I know.
Like, God.
Yeah, I know. Pretty fucked up. On a lighter note, Love is Blind. I know I really shut on Love is Blind last week, everyone. I know. And I stand by it.
So did the rest of the internet, though.
Yeah. And I stand by it. But episodes 7 to 9 came out this week. And I was like, well, I didn't come this far to only come this far. So I watched the 3 new episodes. And honestly, the season's redeemed itself.
Hell yeah.
If you haven't already watched the new season, don't watch the pod episodes. Just start from episode 7. And it's like, yeah, it's back to normal Love is Blind, which is good. So the couples that have come out of the pods, we've got David and Lauren, Ben and Sarah, Joey and Monica, Devin and Virginia, and Daniel and Taylor. Now,
those are all the widest names in the world.
Yeah, Daniel and Taylor, they're the ones where she thought he'd followed her on Instagram before going onto the show.
Yeah.
Turns out he didn't.
Oh.
So she was like mistaken. It was like the most anticlimactic thing ever. Besides that, they have no drama, so I'm not going to talk about them. Devin and Virginia don't have any drama either, so I'm not going to talk about them. But I am going to talk about the others. So let's start with Joey and Monica, because they're the like least dramatic of the three. So Joey and Monica, they're very quirky people, right? Very eccentric, quirky, but they're so cute. They actually really work together.
Yeah.
And Joey has a really similar sense of humor that you and I have. Like there was moments where I was watching him and I was honestly giggling out loud. And I was like, just the way that he would say anyway, I was like, that's us in a nutshell. So he's like a 35-year-old physician associate and she's a 28-year-old digital marketing professional. And they like come out of the pods, they're all cute, whatever. They're like now living in the apartments. Like we've had the like holiday honeymoon bit. That went fine. They're now living in the apartments. And they go to Monica's parents' house and he gets to meet her parents, her eldest sister, Nicole, and her sister's boyfriend, right? First weird moment is when we find out that Monica had originally was the first one to meet Nicole's now boyfriend, was chatting to him online or whatever, and then was like, actually, I think you'd be better suited to my sister, and just like handballed him to her sister. And that's how her sister met her now boyfriend. Yeah. That's the first like weird moment, right? I have the weirdest itchy nose. Sorry, everyone. Then everything seems to be going fine, but the sister's like really cold, like she's trying to play the like bad cop kind of thing. And Nicole and Monica go outside and they're chatting. Monica's like, what do you think of Joey? And Nicole's like, he's not your type. Like your type is like an Italian model kind of guy. And Monica's like, yeah, but that's like anyone in the world's type for starters. And B, I went on Love is Blind to take out.
Point.
Yeah. Like I really like Joey. I don't get what's going on. And then Nicole was like, oh, well, I just think that you two are really different people. Like you have very different personalities. Like I don't know if you're a good fit. And Monica was like, what the fuck? Like, but we do get along. Like I don't understand. And then Nicole, she was like, well, I'm the eldest sister. I'm the oldest. I've been in a long-term relationship. I just feel like I should be getting married first.
Oh, there it is.
You've just gone onto this show and now suddenly you're getting married in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then later on, Monica and Joey are back at the apartment and he's sitting there folding washing while she's sitting on the couch, and this is how this conversation happens. And he's like, they're talking about how it went, and he's like, yeah, I think it all went well, but it's very clear that your sister doesn't like me. And she's like, oh, it's not that, she's just overprotective and rah, rah. And he was like, the way that he went about this conversation, he was so calm, so like mature. It was the most secure and mature conversation of this nature that I've seen on this show in a long time. And he was like, it's very apparent that she doesn't like me. And Monica was like, oh, don't take it personally. Like she doesn't often like people that I date. And he's like, so has this occurred with everyone that you've dated? Like, has she not liked every single one of them? And she was like, yeah, she hasn't liked any of them. And he was like, do you think that that's normal? Like, and he's just asking her these questions, and you can tell that her like cogs are turning. And then he was like, I suspect that there's an element of jealousy going on here. And he was like, I think you and her need to have a conversation, because like it's a big deal for your sister not to like me. Like that's a big deal. He's like, I'm not saying it's a deal breaker, but it's pretty big. And just the way that he went about that conversation, I was like, I love Joey. He's so quirky, but fuck, I love him.
Yeah, bless.
Bless his little socks. And then that was all their drama. Then let's go to David and Lauren. So David is like, he's this 33-year-old medical device sales rep, and Lauren's a 31-year-old teacher, and they were in a love triangle in the pods with this girl named Molly. Anyway, all this shit kicked off because Millie spilled the tea about her feelings to David, or for her feelings for David to someone else, and it created this whole drama, and in the end David was like, nah, I'm going to go with Lauren kind of thing. So everything's fine. And the other red flag about him is his whole thing to date has been, because he works in like a field where everyone around him does like a lot of cosmetic surgery. He's like, I have a warped sense of what a woman should look like. And so it's impacted my dating. So I wanted to go on Love is Blind because I'm trying to be a better person and like this whole thing. I wasn't buying it.
No.
Right? So, but everything on the honeymoon is fine. Everything seems to be going fine. There's the episode where, you know, when they're on the honeymoon and all the couples come together for the first time. Dave is running around that party asking everyone if they've had sex yet. It's like he's like obsessed. He's like, have you guys fucked? Have you guys boofed? Like, have you guys like banged knees and shit? And people are kind of like, dude,
none of your business.
Chill out for a second. Like, let's just breathe. Anyway, they come back from the holiday, and as soon as they get their phones, drama. It's drama, drama, drama. So they get their phones. Dave's friends and family have been blowing up his phone because they had somehow found out who he ends up with. And there are rumors who are being spread by the guy himself that Lauren was dating someone right up to the day that she left to go into the pods.
Oh.
So it turns out that the guy that Lauren was kind of seeing before she went on the show and the guy prior to that, they both know Dave. Like, they all kind of loosely know each other. Kind of like, you know, you know of people. Yeah. And this guy, the more recent one, has been running his mouth to everyone and anyone who will listen.
Yeah, right.
And he is claiming that her and Lauren and him had been dating and they were with each other literally on the Friday, and then she flew out on the Sunday to do Love is Blind. And Dave gets really weird about it. He's like, this is really weird. Like, why would you be, if you wanted to get married and you're going on Love is Blind, why would you be seeing someone right up till now? And she's like, I wouldn't consider him a boyfriend. He was just a hookup. Like, I hadn't seen him in the like 2 weeks leading up to going filming. Like, she's not denying that she was like seeing him in a casual context, but she's like, I didn't see him within those like last 2 weeks kind of thing. And her friends are backing her up, but then Dave, particularly his sister has like a really big influence on his life, and he's like obsessed with his sister to the point where people are like, I think Dave wants to fuck his sister. And then it's like blown up, and it gets to the point where Dave is like questioning whether he's going to stay with Lauren. And so the final episode, like episode 9, him and her are having this conversation because his friends are meant to come over, because Lauren's like, all these conversations about me are happening without me in them. Like, I want to tell my side to your friends because they're the ones that are in your ear saying that I've been doing stuff that I haven't. And so they're meant to come over. And then Dave in the end is like, no, I don't think that they should come over. Like, I don't believe you kind of thing. And it's just weird because she's so upset, and I can understand why, because she's like, I just feel so helpless because something that shouldn't be an issue is this huge issue, and half of it's built off of lies.
So was she actually seeing someone leading up to going on?
She claims not
exclusively,
and it wasn't as close to her going on the show as what people were claiming, right?
Yeah.
But then it gets fucking even more intense because people have uncovered that the guy that's kind of in the middle of it all, his name is Daniel, right? Daniel Nides, Nides. So the other kicker was that the apartment building that they all get moved into for the show, this guy lives in that building.
Stop. What are the odds?
Right? Anyway, so people have figured out who it is, and they found his Instagram. So I had a look. I was like, well, I want to have a look.
Yeah.
this man is riding the coattails of this show.
Yeah.
And one of her friends was like, he is doing this because he wants his 5 seconds of fame.
Of course.
And he absolutely is.
Yeah.
He photoshopped a fucking Love is Blind contestant poster with him on it.
Stop.
Right? And put it on his Instagram.
That's so embarrassing.
Let me bring up his Instagram.
No.
And then he's posted a video trailer
No.
for a podcast
No.
where he's going to tell his side of the story.
No one fucking asked, though.
Wait,
no one asked.
Do you know what's funny?
He looks like, you know that Yu-Gi-Oh card and it's like the pot?
No.
Hang on. He looks like that.
He looks like every other guy on the show this season that when I first saw that poster, I just thought it was one of the other guys. I didn't think that it was this non-contestant. This guy is nuts. So then, yeah, he posted a trailer and it says Season 8 Love is Blind Minneapolis, drama, plot twists and spoilers. Grab your popcorn. And it's a video, like it's clips from the show, and then it's him sitting down, putting on headphones, like going into a mic. Yeah.
The pot of greed. The spell card from Yu-Gi-Oh. That's what he looks like.
And he's going to tell his side. Now, first of all, I don't think this is dramatic enough for anyone to give a fuck about what he has to say.
No one actually cares.
Then he posted another video. Right, and the caption is, not me getting dragged into drama I actively avoided. First of all, he didn't actively avoid because he messaged her friends when like he found out she was going on the show being like, want to crash the wedding, ? And
what a
then
loser.
He's running around Minneapolis fucking getting in the ears of Dave's sister and her friends and stuff because he's also friends with them. Like spilling shit.
And starting a podcast about it. That's not actively avoiding the drama, doll.
Starting a podcast that no one fucking asked for. And then in the video, it's like screenshots of messages between him and the producers who are like, we want to get your side of it. Rah. And because he's a lawyer, right?
Of course he is.
Of course he is. So there's a screenshot of what I'm assuming is an email that he's written to them, to Netflix. Okay. I'm going to read it to you.
I can't wait.
The ongoing commercial activity associated with the filming of the mentioned series directly violates this provision. The impact of this violation on my living conditions has been substantial, causing me significant emotional distress due to my personal relationships with 2 of the cast members. This breach also infringes upon my right to reside in a habitable apartment as it disregards the terms outlined in the lease agreement. I am forced to find another place to live and avoid the enjoyment of our community spaces. In light of the aforementioned breach, I am formally demanding the following: immediate cessation of the commercial activity related to the filming of Love is Blind in accordance with the terms of our lease agreement, or to cover the cost of temporary housing compensation for the period of the violation, starting from the date of commencement of the prohibited commercial activity until the removal of the cast and crew on March 16. Failure to comply with these demands within a reasonable time frame will leave me with no choice but to pursue legal action. Legal action will seek attorneys' fees and compensation for, and then it cuts off.
Have a fucking day off. How about that?
This dude is
so embarrassing.
Why is it your job to be so fucking annoying?
Insufferable.
Like, actually insufferable.
Be fucking for real, dude.
Right? And like, if it was causing you that much emotional distress, why are you using it to launch a podcast?
Yeah, exactly. Why are you monetizing off it?
And you know what's even more fucking embarrassing is in this like little trailer that he's made for his new podcast.
What a loser.
He's tagged like the local news, the local newspaper. He's tagged journalists. He's tagged reality T. Love is Blind pod, Love is Blind memes, Out of the Pods, Love is Blind teas.
Oh my God.
If you are that emotionally distressed, my dude, you are not drawing.
You're not posting full stop.
Like, he just looks like...
Tapped out.
I
Tapped the fuck out.
I hate him. He's...
What an absolute loser.
Insufferable is the only way to describe this man. And I fucking
Makes
can't
sense
stand him.
why is her name Lauren.
Yeah.
Makes sense why Lauren didn't want to make it exclusive with him. What a fucking dweeb.
Right? What a fucking loser. You know what? And he's short.
Of course he is. Oh, God.
Yeah.
What a fuckwit.
Explains so much. So, there's that drama. Then there's one more couple with a shitload of drama. Okay? So, we've got Ben and Sarah. So, Ben is like a 28-year-old developer and Sarah is a 29-year-old oncology nurse. I love them, right? Originally. I was like, they're kind of cute.
Oh, something happens.
On the honeymoon, they're cute. He's just like, when they're on the honeymoon, he woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. And then while he did that, he like wrote her like this cute little love note, put it in a makeup bag. So she found it very cute.
Yeah, very cutesy.
It's very cute.
Yeah.
Everything's almost too good to be true. So then they come back.
Bum, bum, bum.
They come back and she meets his friends. And his friends is like quite a diverse group of people, right?
Okay.
They're very, what kind of people do they remind me of? Just like, I don't know how to describe it, but they're just, they would go to Adelaide Uni, right? Like, if they were Australian, they would go to Adelaide Uni, they'd listen to Triple J.
Oh, okay.
They love...
Like indie alternative.
Yeah, they love like a quirky gig kind of thing. They would definitely like play chess, like nerdy but quirky. Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
But they're very
Are
wholesome.
they shopping at Dangerfield?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very wholesome, very sweet. And I'm like, this is great. This is all going well. Like,
Yeah.
it's all wholesome vibes.
Okay.
Now, interestingly enough, when they were in the pods, Sarah voiced her support for like Black Lives Matter and particularly like LGBTQ plus rights, particularly because her sister is gay. So she's like, this is really important to me. And then that's how like they had a conversation about how like religion plays into that. And Ben kind of seemed pretty nonchalant about the whole, he's like, I don't really have an opinion on it all. And he's like, I know we have like different perspectives on things and I'm willing to grow, which is a crazy thing because when they meet his friends, one of his female friends is gay. And I'm like, for someone with gay friends,
why don't you care more?
Yeah, you would care more kind of thing because you
know people affected by it.
Yeah, like, there's like a closer correlation to it all. Anyway, I was like, that's kind of weird. So that night, they go back to the apartment and they're sitting on the couch. It's all cute. He gets up to do something. She's on her phone. And she comes across this TikTok where this woman, her name's Andra, and her is @hope you find your dad. Very random. Same. Where she's talking about how a guy she was seeing is currently filming for Love is Blind in Minneapolis and how he is a horrible person. He treated her like shit. He's like a walking red flag. And she's sick of seeing shows like Love is Blind casting toxic shit men and giving them a platform.
Yeah.
And I've seen the video and there was nothing to say that it was Ben, but Sarah's like showing Ben being like, oh my God, like this is about someone. And he goes, yeah, I dated her. Okay. And he's like, yeah, I date, but it was only like, we barely dated. Like, I barely know her. Like, I don't even remember anything. Like, there's nothing that she could be like angry about. Like, she's overreacting. Rah, rah. And Sarah, credit to Sarah, right? Because she was like, well, I'm not going to dismiss her. Like, I'm not going to dismiss what this person's saying. Like, what happened between you guys? And he's like, I don't know. Like, I dated her like 4 years ago. Like, we matched on a dating app. We went on like 1 or 2 dates, but I don't remember. I don't remember anything. And she's like, I remember my relationships from 4 years ago. Hey, what do you mean you don't remember anything? Like,
that's a cop out.
Clearly something's happened. Yeah. Anyway, and he's adamant that like she's overreacting. And Sarah's like, you can tell she's not buying it. And she's like, well, I'm not going to dismiss her. And if more stuff comes out about this and you haven't told me the truth, that's it. I'm gone. Like, this is your time now to tell me what the fuck is going on. Yeah. So then I was like, I obviously went back to find her video to have a look and I watched that. And in the comments of that, there were so many women who were like, yep, I had the exact same experience with Ben. Like, He's a serial dater. Everyone in Minneapolis knows him. Other women were making videos about him. And then the same woman, Andrea, made she's made a couple of videos. She's made another video saying that he is a master gaslighter, a manipulator, and an all-round massive red flag. She claims that his core motive is fame. So before the show, he was like trying to become like an influencer, like made a YouTube channel, would go around Minneapolis asking people to follow his Instagram. Then he became a realtor, moved to LA to try and get famous. That didn't work out. So he moved back to Minneapolis and signed up for Love is Blind. And she claims that as soon as filming wrapped, he immediately was seen back at the college bars where he lurks around. And so many women have come out. She was saying that he has been posted multiple times in those like, do we have the same boyfriend Facebook groups? And there's not good.
I love those, by the way.
Yeah, and there's like nothing
Great.
good said about him. Anyway, but the thing that blew my mind was so many women in the comments and other videos have come out saying that stuff about Ben, that he's like horrible, like stay the fuck away from him. But also about Dave, the guy that has like the weird obsession with his sister and is like weird about the fucking gym lawyer guy. And another guy, Mason, who was in the pods as well. There's like 4 guys that so many women are making videos about being like, these are the men that should not be going on these shows.
That's wild.
Is that not crazy?
But like, yeah. It's a similar thing for like Australian TV shows, like Maths, for example. Like the caliber of men that are like, half of them are winners, half of them are absolute cretins on the earth. How are we not vetting the cretins?
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, surely some of that would have come through in the interviews, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just what surprised me is he's like this little nerd. Like, I wouldn't have expected it from him.
You can't trust. It's always the ones you least suspect.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the learning from this, full stop, is don't trust a man.
Yeah. Actually. Yeah.
So even though the first 6 episodes were shit, the latest 3 episodes, wild. Absolutely wild.
I mean, shit's going to go down, right?
Yeah. So Love is Blind has redeemed itself. It's still not its best season, but it's redeemed itself.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Like I said,
Which one's your favourite season, do you reckon?
The one with like Leo and Hannah, that's a more recent one. That was...
You liked that one, the later, like the one before this one?
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, with like Taylor and Garrett and stuff. But then I also really liked the season with like Chelsea and Kwame and Brett and what's her name? Because that one had quite a few couples in it.
Yeah.
That stayed together. And you had like Micah in it. Micah was quite controversial. You had... What was her name? I can't remember her name, but she was the girl that was like a bitch. And she has great fashion sense, actually. I followed her on Instagram for a little while. Those 2 seasons are my standout seasons. Like, they're the ones that I remember people from them.
Yeah, okay.
The most. The one with... Do you remember the one with Jeremy in it? That was a funny season because that girl that would always cry and she thought she looked like Megan Fox.
Oh, yeah. Chelsea was her name?
Yeah. There's always a couple of like standouts in each season. This one, not so much. And this season, everyone looks really fucking similar.
Yeah, okay.
No
but diversity.
But at least it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can push through if it's entertaining.
Easy
so yeah,
watch.
That's the Love is Blind update, everyone.
There you go.
And that's what I've been watching.
I love that.
Yeah. So now maths.
Maths. I can't even remember what happened this week.
We had the new weddings.
Oh, yeah.
So we had the 2 newbies, TJ and...
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you.
TJ and...
Apologies to that woman.
Yeah. Then we had Lauren married Clint.
Yeah.
The older guy, really rich guy.
Golf man.
Who's from Tasmania. And then we had Elliot married Veronica, I want to say.
Yeah, okay.
And then we had... So at the wedding of TJ and TJ's girlfriend, or like...
Mrs. TJ.
Mr. and Mrs. TJ. First of all, TJ is actually originally from Adelaide, right?
Oh.
So a couple of people that we know, well, one person that we know, messaged me being like, I know of TJ.
Who?
TJ, I'll tell you off air, is a serial fuckboy, right? Like,
that's who I heard it from. I was telling Nikki that someone told me that, and I was like, I can't remember who my credible source is.
Yeah. Our most credible source.
Who else is it going to be?
Little Miss Goss.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, she was like, yeah, he's serial fuckboy. And then he's been on Big Brother recently, and now he's on this. So he's absolutely not there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. And at their wedding, at the reception, like, because remember the vows? And they were like, you know, I'll buy you flowers. And then Jackie was like, lost her mind.
Lost her fucking marbles.
The way she
so embarrassing.
Lost her shit. But the thing that was the most jarring was when
the fake crying.
When Athena pulled her and Ryan aside because they were bickering in the middle of the reception, and she was like, "This needs to stop." And Jackie went from hysterically crying to like that, stopped crying, and was like, "Yep, you're right," and just was completely normal and walked back into it. I was like, you're going to show that and try and convince me she's not an actress.
Yeah.
Like, you have another thing coming if you think I'm not onto you. And then we had Lauren and Clint's wedding seemed fun. Clint seemed sweet.
Have you seen that him and Jackie end up together?
Yeah, that man has to have a world of patience in him.
Good luck to that man.
Yeah, that...
Yikes.
Sad for Lauren.
I know, she's been through the fucking ringer, the poor hen.
But, you know, it's good to see Jackie's off the streets. It's probably for the best.
Off the streets.
And then we had Elliot and Veronica. Now, admittedly, when they got married and they're having their first few days together afterwards, completely different side to Elliot.
Yeah.
Than what we've seen. I was like, this man's actually not insufferable anymore.
Maybe he's changed his ways.
Yeah, maybe he's really different.
But then we had the dinner party.
And might I add, it was a fantastic dinner party.
It was a great dinner party.
Keep in mind, this is the first season I've watched. I thought the commitment ceremonies were meant to be more crazy, but the dinner parties are the best part.
The dinner parties are where it pops the fuck off, yeah.
All right, I love the dinner parties. So, Lauren is confronting Elliot about and like exposing how like all the things that he said and how he went about their breakup and how like picky he was and just a shit person. And it never even crossed my mind that Veronica would side with anyone else, right? But she immediately called him out and was like, what the actual fuck? And that was the moment that I knew that Veronica was up there with one of my favorites.
Because Elliot tries to like dismiss Lauren's like recount of what happened, denies everything, and he's like, oh, you wouldn't even know what I was saying on the night of our honeymoon because you had like 5 margaritas.
And everyone went, ah!
And everyone's like, don't fucking play that game. Like, come on, be fucking for real. Like, you're the one that left. Like, and then, Veronica was like, that's a bit of disgusting behavior, to be honest.
I love her.
Yeah.
I love that she stood up against him because like she'd seen a completely different side to him than everyone else had.
Yeah.
And she was like, nah, fuck that. I don't care.
Yeah, she could have just as easily have been like, that's not my experience. Like, you know, benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Nah, call the men out on their
No,
bullshit.
I love her.
And then, my favorite person on the entire planet, Adrian.
This man is also insufferable.
Oh my God. Where does this man get off? I just do not understand. So, Athena and Adrian and a couple of the other couples get invited to do a photo shoot, and there's like an extra part to the photo shoot where some of the cast get asked to stay back and others don't. Athena gets asked to stay back. Adrian doesn't. So he goes off, whatever. Athena stays to do the shoot. She has her little luggage. She's going up to her room. She enters the room. Adrian's nowhere to be seen. His drawers are empty. His ring's on the counter. She's in a panic. She's like, what the fuck is going on? She calls Adrian. And she's like, where are you? Like, what's going on? And he's like, I've gone home. And she's like, what the fuck has happened? Why? And he's like, because I wasn't asked to stay back for the photo shoot. I felt like I was excluded. I'm not getting treated like that. That's disgusting. I'm not going to be in the experiment anymore. And Athena's like, but not everyone, like, got asked to stay back. Like, a couple of people left. Like, you weren't the only one. And he's like, I don't care. My feelings were hurt. You should respect that. And she's like, I get that you're feeling that way, but also, like, we're a couple. If you leave, that means I have to leave. Like, I want to be here with you. Like, are you coming back? He's like, no. This is my feelings, and you should respect that.
And, like, the way that he delivered it as well. Like, this man's having a full-blown fucking temper tantrum about a photo shoot.
Literally. He's like, it is what it is. If it ends like this, then I had fun, and that's it. And she's like, we're fucking married, cunt. Like, how have you not thought about me? She's like, I have a child at home. Like, I've missed out on all of this time, and you're just going to think about yourself right now? Like, what the fuck? And so he goes off. Athena has no idea what's going on. So it's the dinner party. Athena rocks up alone. Couple of other couples roll in. In rolls Adrian.
Of course he did. Motherfucker wants to be famous.
And then, before the dinner party on the phone call, he's like, oh, and by the way, I also went out for dinner with Sierra, whatever the fuck her name is.
Sierra, yeah.
Why? And he's like, oh, no, but it's fine because Tony was there.
Oh, thank God. Why
Tony
didn't you mention that earlier?
Thank God Tony was there. So Athena's fucking raging.
Yeah.
Raging. And then it cuts to Sierra and Billy.
Yeah.
Billy's like, after the commitment ceremony, we've pretty much slept in separate rooms. Yeah. She won't give me the time of day. Mm-hmm. Cold as ice. And I think they rock up separate too, don't they? Yeah, because Athena's like, oh, I see you don't have a partner either, Billy. That's great. Let's discuss. And they're both kind of like, no, like, our partners need to be held accountable for what they did. Like, they need to be asked about what happened, but in a group setting.
Yeah, yeah.
So that everyone is on the same page. And I was like, ding, ding.
Thank you.
Ding.
Thank you for putting our needs first.
Oh, my days.
Yeah, so then it all kind of kicks off. And Adrian and Sierra, no concept of what, like, that they've done anything wrong.
No consideration. Like, Sierra was kind of like, I know that I betrayed Athena's trust, and she tries to kind of, like, apologize for it, but not really.
She doesn't mean it. She's saying it because she
knows she'll look bad.
She cares about how she's perceived. Yeah. She doesn't care about the fact that she's... I actually think when she first came on the show, I was like, this sweet, beautiful girl who's had clearly a hard, experience prior in dating because she has, like, self-esteem issues, whatever. I hate to say it. This woman's a cunt.
Yeah, I really don't like her one bit. Like, she is not a girl's girl.
No, she is nasty. She's a pick-me. And have you seen she was on The Bachelor? Yeah. And that clip of her in the car? It's a completely different persona. Yeah. I'm like, this woman is a pick-me cunt. Yeah. No, like, I hate to say it, but she is. Yeah. Like, she is nasty. And the way that she is just being fucking weird. It's Adrian. Like, it is literally scum. He brings nothing to the table, right? Adds nothing to society. And you're going to not only treat someone else like shit, like Billy, but you're also going to treat Athena like shit. Yeah. For a man that can't even read. Yeah. Blows my mind.
Have you seen and a man that has started up his own fan pages? Have you seen that? Like, he has made his own fan accounts.
Abby Chatfield, I'm assuming that this girl that Adrian was seeing, has contacted Abby Chatfield. I'm pretty sure that's how it came about. Contacted Abby Chatfield and was like, I dated Adrian for a bit. I think it was actually either during or after filming. And I have some goss on him. And I listened to the episode, and I'm going to be completely honest. She was really hard to listen to. I get the impression, I have completely believe her experience, but I also get the sense that she's like, this is my moment. She just, the way that she spoke on the podcast, she was talking over Abby, and she just, I don't know, she was really hard to listen to. Can't tell a story to save. I'm not a great storyteller myself.
Way to judge.
Okay? But that's how I know that she's a bad storyteller, because I can pick him because I am one. Anyway, so she was talking about her whole dating experience, which, to be completely honest, is neither here nor there. Don't really give a fuck. But as you were saying, she did point out that she was like sending Adrian TikToks, and when you send someone a TikTok, it'll tell you that they've watched it and like their account. You'll be able to see their account, all of that, and it comes up with like this maths Adrian fan page, and she's like, what the fuck, do you have a fan page? And he was like, well, yeah, like like I can't remember the reasoning for it, but he's like he comments on like the videos from him and his brother's account, and like it's
weird. It's weird.
Everything I see about him and his brother, like,
and he thinks like, I've seen a snippet of like a podcast that he goes on.
Yeah, let me play it.
He thinks he is the superstar of this season. He thinks that he's an absolute winner, that the fans love him. And the host is like, are you not like looking at what people are saying online about you? And he's like, any publicity is good publicity.
No, he's actually fucked.
He's tapped.
Him and his brother are as bad as each other. And like, not to be like extreme, right, and kind of blowing things up out of proportion, but him and his brother are just spewing shit, and their mentality and the way that they think and what they view is actually really scary.
Again,
really
men
dangerous.
That shouldn't be given a platform.
Yeah, like men that shouldn't even be. They should have their vocal cords removed, like from a young age. Where's this video of the clip of Adrian TikTok? I want to find the one. Is it this one?
But yes, so the commitment ceremony will be very interesting, because I hope Athena says that she wants to leave.
Please.
Because I think she needs to put herself first, and I think Billy's going to say he's going to leave, because I feel like there's just no coming back from that.
I reckon.
And I hope that the experts rip them a new fucking asshole.
My fear is that Adrian and Sierra are going to say that they want to stay. I also don't like the rule that, like, if one person says stay, that you will stay. That's actually not.
Why am I being held here against my will?
That's a scary thing. Wait, let me play this one. This one's him talking about, like, defending creating his own fan account. This is from the Yahoo Australia.
Anyone that knows TikTok and marketing, you know that you make a bunch of pages and you cut your clips and you keep posting them, and that algorithm goes. If you got 40 different fan pages or whatever you want to call them, and you post your clips from a podcast into all 40, 50 different channels, there's one bound to go viral. And everyone else is using me for clicks right now. Everyone else is posting my content. Everyone else is, watching me and talking about me. So why would I not do it myself?
That's crazy.
I wish he would shut the fuck up. I'm trying to find... Anyway, so yeah. It's fucking crazy shit, dude. Like,
I love maths. Like, nothing anyone says can make me hate maths. It's such great viewing.
Yeah, hang on.
Like, okay.
Ready?
Production asked me to come back. I wasn't coming back, but they're like, oh, get Adrian back. And honestly, because I care about Athena, whether people believe me or not, that was the main reason I came back. I couldn't give a shit about being on air anymore. I couldn't give a shit about being on TV anymore. I already had 5 weeks, and I know they were impactful 5 weeks. I know I would have had a lot of airtime. I didn't care about that anyway. So, the production called me, asked me to come back, and then Athena also asked, so I came back.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, the shit him and his brother spew, it's like... Here, listen to this.
For everyone saying that I look like Peter Dinklage.
Oh, wait. That's
does.
This one, I think.
So So I didn't know who Abby Chatsfield was up until a week ago. And the more I see, the more I can't help but laugh. So you're telling me the same woman that advocates for other women was on a reality TV show fighting against 15 women for the validation of one man.
Okay, first of all,
what does that have to do with anything?
she wasn't on like fucking WWE. Okay, she didn't join Squid Games. Okay, like she's not fighting women. That's actually, and what is like?
She's looking for a partner. What's fucking wrong with that?
What is the difference between that and Adrian going on fucking maths? You know, what was?
We currently live in a society.
Here's another
follow
one.
the followers, not follow the leaders. And anybody who goes against the followers and the norm, they're
What?
told that they can't do things, they can't do this, or can't do that. How dare they speak their truth? The blind can't understand that there is something called alternative realities, that you speak into existence what you believe. So they'll tell you things like it's impossible, or they judge you, tell you you can't. But remember,
Bro, take a breath, man.
It's a judgment, not a statement.
What?
All he did was say stupid shit.
What?
Do you know what blows my mind is that like people, he literally just said a whole lot of nothing, okay? And then people jump onto that and they're like, yeah, fuck the government,
Yeah.
fuck like the societal norms, like they're trying to
always
silence us.
It's always the incels, though.
No, literally, it's incel city. Anyway,
Incel with one brain cell.
oh, it actually infuriates me because there's no way to stop people like that spewing shit on the internet. And, like, I wish there was.
Just stop giving shitmen a platform. Like, where in the pits of hell are you finding these men?
I know.
Like, it's great TV, don't get me wrong, but the repercussions of it, oh
It's
my
not
Lord,
worth, like,
no.
it's honestly not worth it.
No.
There are so many people who are entertaining without being incels.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, Jackie's batshit crazy.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm aware, and I'm probably completely wrong, I probably am, but I don't think she's an incel. She's a bit fucking kooky, but at least she's not an incel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Adrian thing's just at a point where it's infuriating me because it is.
Every time he smirks,
I fucking hate him.
my
Yeah.
blood pressure rises.
No, yeah, fucking infuriates me. Yeah, I have nothing else to say other than fuck Adrian, fuck his brother, fuck Sierra,
Yeah.
fuck them all except for Billy, Dave, Jamie, Victoria.
And what's that other couple, the fitness ones?
Oh,
They're
Jeff
really
and Reed.
sweet.
I
Yeah, they're
always
real
forget
sweet.
to hype them up, but they're actually just iconic.
They're just so stable and sweet and perfect.
They're
yeah,
so
I love
normal.
them. Yeah,
So
they're so normal.
I want to see more of that.
Oh my god, Jackie texting Jeff.
Dude. But then, like, she released the text, and in the text, it doesn't say, like, don't bring Ree.
Oh, okay.
But then I'm like, I don't know. I just
I
don't
don't trust
believe.
it.
No, I don't trust her.
Don't trust her as far as I can throw her, to be
I
honest.
feel bad because, like, whatever. But
Ree, I feel like, yeah, Ree wouldn't get worked up about.
no, exactly. I trust Ree because Ree is reliable.
Yeah. I mean, it all could just, it's
Who knows?
fucking 70% of this shit is just for show. So
Yeah.
it's a narrative that the producers make.
I'm
but
sure
I'm falling for it.
Egg on our face. But yeah,
Anyway.
so I'm very interested to see this week of Maths.
Hell yeah.
But that's the
That's
latest.
been our week, guys.
Yeah. I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Thank you for joining
I hope everyone had a good
Reality
week.
TV Central.
Reminder to stay away from the incels because they're everywhere apparently.
Can't be trusted.
Cannot be trusted.
You know what? Just assume that everyone's an incel until they prove themselves otherwise.
Yeah, period.
That's a good way to go about
It's
it.
the safest way to go about living life as a woman, I think.
Facts.
Well, we're going to love you and leave you.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.